If your website is going to be for a record label, band, or a collective of DJs and promoters organizing events, maybe you don't want to be stuck as the only person who can make updates and add stuff. You can assign different levels of access and control to other people that will let them in, but maybe limit their activities a bit more than your account if necessary. They'll be able to log into WordPress right after you add them to the Users section in your left sidebar, so click on that to take a look. Right now, you're the only one here, but you can click Add New to create another user. Type in a username for them and their email address. Maybe you'll even want to use the mail settings in your cPanel to create and forward a new custom address for them so that everybody has their own. Whatever they're using right now is also okay to put in this box though, because it won't be made public. The other names and website boxes aren't really important to fill in, and unless you want to give them a specific password, you can just keep the one that it generated automatically. Leave the user notification box checked so that WordPress will send them an email with a link to reset that temporary password and log in the first time. The role setting at the bottom is the most important part of this because it'll determine what their capabilities are. Subscriber means that they can only read posts and use their profile to make comments on them, so that's more of a blog thing and doesn't apply as much for a music site. Also, in the discussion settings, we didn't specify that users had to be registered and logged in to post a comment, just that they needed to fill out their name and email address when they did. That's a lot easier for everybody involved, but if you were going to make them register in order to comment, they would end up here as another user with their role set on subscriber by default. Contributor means that a user will be able to create their own posts, but you'll have to approve them first before they go public on the website. The author level will give them the ability to make posts and edit them without having to be approved by an administrator. An editor can publish and manage their own posts like an author, but they can also edit the posts of other users. The administrator role is the one that you have, with all of the same powers to change the site. Be much more careful with that one. Make sure you fully trust them, and double check that they know how everything works first before giving them those capabilities. For this test, I'll pick author and then add new user. That person will then get an email notification and be able to log into the site in the future by going to yourwebsite.com/wp-login.php. The first time they visit though, they'll need to go through the other link in that email and reset the temporary password. After that, they can log in anytime with their username and new password to access the WordPress dashboard. You'll notice that the dashboard they see is pretty similar to yours, but it's a more simplified version with fewer controls. Options like the settings, plugins, or the ability to manage other users in the left sidebar aren't there because they only have the capabilities of an author. As an administrator, you also have the power to edit their user profile and change their role anytime. It's probably a better idea to only have your one administrator account, but that's how it works if you're part of a group that will share those responsibilities more evenly. Also remember that logging into WordPress is separate from your hosting account in cPanel. Even somebody else that has administrator status here still won't be able to do things like make custom email addresses, check the web stats, or get into your personal billing information and domain options. If you want somebody else on your team to be able to access your cPanel, make sure that password is different than the one being used to log into your account management panel. If it's not, change the cPanel password to something else before you give it to them, so that you're the only one with access to your credit card information and some of the more powerful options in your hosting account.